All right, look at that.
Yes,
That's a way to open an episode.
Grease too.
This is Anthony Russo.
How you doing?
I'm Dan Harmon.
Joel McHale.
Danny Pooty.
Yay.
Hey.
This is one of my favorite episodes of the season.
I really
For
enjoyed this episode.
Many,
I liked
many reasons.
I'm glad I was able to get the coat from Hellraiser.
I like that joke right there, just counting the bagels that
Yeah.
fast.
Very nice.
Drop them on the floor.
They're called bagels.
This is
This is one of my favorite jokes.
Yeah.
The bagel run is
so great.
This is based on the fact that I actually pronounced bagel wrong. Me, Dan Harmon.
My wife, actually, this is Danny Pooty, also says bagel, so we had a
who is
great
this?
time.
Who is that?
This is
Oh.
Danny Pooty.
Okay.
People make the mistake of thinking it's a regional thing, and I don't think it is. I think it's like some odd, because they would assume it's a Wisconsin thing, but plenty of people from Wisconsin ridicule me to no end,
No.
including
They're
my
like,
girlfriend.
oh gosh, you say that so wrong. Oh gosh.
This is a great drawing, by the way. I wish I looked like that for real.
Abel did that.
Oh, Abel drew that. That's right.
Obviously, it's a girl who has a crush on Abed. This is so romantic. It's just like the Notebook, except instead of Alzheimer's, Abed has.
This sort of repeats the formula, if you will, of it's not necessarily all self-contained like the cadaver episode. Like there is one sort of like outside. There's outside characters that are influencing the group, but at the same time, it's got this. It's sort of like the pottery episode that Anthony also directed, where you were peeling Joel off and having him have his own sort of struggle with his vapidness, his insipid, his shallowness,
Assholeness.
while the family deals with a sort of Walton's Mountain kind of story.
Yeah, we're not the brightest class. Takes us a little while to get out of there.
Seen you, Chang?
That's classic Ken Jeong improv.
Yeah.
Throwing the book on the ground.
There's the beard.
There it is.
Kind of tips the joke. I don't know. But you don't listen to me.
I do like this kind of beat just between Ken and Gillian, just the relationship and how they're just always fighting each other. I kind of like enjoy that.
I may have been thrown off by Britta's pronunciation of the word bagel.
How do you pronounce bagel?
I don't.
Come on.
Bagel.
You're the worst.
I love the Annie throwing Britta under the bus there, and like the sibling rivalry that they have.
Now we have a genuine sweat hog sitting there behind me.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Carter.
Yeah, look at that.
Down to the boots. Who actually gets dressed up to play pool?
Well, the scene that's coming up, that's one of my favorite things about the episode is the scene that's coming up when he's shooting the pool. Like, when I was watching it, I realized, like, how successful we had been at creating a character that is so deeply flawed. If you described this character on paper, if you said, I ran into this guy at the mall, and then you described his characteristics, you would go, what a douchebag.
Yes.
But, and we see that character, we see the douchebag in TV all the time, but we're never identifying with them.
Yeah.
And Joel McHale brings this flawless likability to everything he does, to the point where his other famous job is standing in front of the Kardashians and going, I hope God strikes them dead, and everyone laughs.
But how could he get the lightning bolt through her ass?
See? You love him. You love him. If I said that, you'd hate me. And so you have this result. It's like you love. You, of course, this is a great archetype. It's the flawed prince. You know, he needs to learn to be less
Flawed prince with the pig nose.
Probably be total gibberish to them.
Jeff's unprecedentedly right about this. Abed, when we find this girl, you're going to approach her just the way you are, because that's good enough.
Yeah, and then you can take her to a nice deli and treat her to a bagel.
Watch Chevy too.
Yeah, it is.
Chevy there.
Chevy's
Stepping away,
dance.
swinging.
And now the absurdity of a gym.
So I remember when we watched the edit in the edit room when Dan watched it for the first time. Right here is where he starts laughing and he goes, "What a douchebag!"
Yeah, that's what. And I was so happy because I was like, "Wow, we've really the star of our show is not Jim from The Office. You know, he's not just every man by virtue of lack of flaws and stuff. He's like, he is a character."
I
And this
wonder
guy,
if this wonderful actor,
God, his voice is awesome.
like
all have to wear the proper equipment at all times. So, suit up.
We had a
John
debate about
Krasinski.
this is just
I wonder if John
this was so
Krasinski's
close
gonna
to being
watch
Ice
this show.
Cube.
I love The Office. I love you, John.
Yeah, John Krasinski and your family, any other Krasinskis out there in America, we love you.
The gym teacher was almost Ice Cube, which I think might have been awesome.
He almost
Ice
agreed
Cube?
to it?
You're kidding me.
Well,
Really?
when we say almost, we kept debating about
We
it.
almost agreed to it. I don't think it ever got to him.
Right, exactly. He would have said no anyway.
There's Carrie Weeda reading Pride and Prejudice. That's a nice little theme we got going on in this episode. This is one of my favorite little bits here.
Over there and do your thing.
We get to kind of
Great.
bring in the
I love this
Twilight
part.
moment here.
I love this part.
Even though
I love the setup, just
Yeah.
like great. I mean, it's just so, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's such a sitcom, such a classic sitcom.
But it does the thing where it's like, yeah, we're gonna go even further.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep setting it up. And
Well, also we're gonna reapproach this theme. You know, usually you're learning to be yourself, and it's ducks in a barrel, fish in a barrel. Of course, we tried to be somebody else, learn to be myself. The characters are learning that good people sometimes are other people.
See, I don't really know if that's a vampire or more of like a lizard.
I would say it's like a gargoyle.
It's so fun. This is. I remember when I read this script. There are two jokes.
I can't be here. I'm a two-striker.
The two strikes.
that. That's so
It is
funny.
such a hard joke. It's so dark to see Abed sort of approaching this woman in a sort of quasi weird way, and to see Pierce start to sweat it.
I have to from felon.
I actually didn't mean it that way. I really meant it in a Greendale way. I meant it within the world of Greendale that he's twice been reprimanded for sexual harassment on the Greendale campus. I didn't mean he's raped two women.
I didn't think it was literally a two-striker, but just the reference.
Yeah,
is really
short
devious.
shorts. There we go.
There we go. I haven't worn those since
what, 84, 85?
It was
And
going
now
back
here's the
St.
thing:
Monica's
because you have a flawed
elementary
character,
school.
you're able to tell this story, and you actually now you can see how difficult it is for him to play pool in shorts. And you pitch these stories, and sometimes they don't make sense to people. But look at this.
This was
guy.
a hard one on the pitch to sell.
You're not in uniform.
Look at the poster above his on the back wall. It's a poster about
bottom.
himself.
There's also framed
There's our
shorts.
amazing art department.
Yeah, our
again,
amazing art department. They have framed short shorts on the wall too.
His voice. He's this guy. What was his name?
I'm comfortable in my own clothes.
Jeez.
Oh, we don't remember the actor's name.
Sorry.
Well,
Blake.
So now Blake.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can't remember his last name.
so
I feel like
great.
an
He's
idiot.
incredible.
He's amazing.
Wow.
And he's
Blake Clark.
He's a Blake Clark.
Yes.
He's a prince too. He was a
So
gem.
great to work
Yeah.
with.
This scene is great. I remember sort of pacing my living room, driving my girlfriend nuts, trying to figure out because
And then I got to the script.
we decided that we wanted to do naked billiards for some reason, and we
Actual
couldn't
painting.
figure out what the justification was. Why would these two end up stripping their clothes off playing a game of billiards? And it was just one of those things that just pushing a boulder. Like you just eventually we kind of got there. It was just every day more debates.
Exactly.
Does this story make any sense?
Oh, please. You're the one with the rules about clothes. And by the way, I could kick your ass all over that table.
Oh, is that a challenge? Huh? Because if you play me in pool, you play me in shorts. And if you can't do that, my point's already made.
That's the key.
I don't have anything to prove to you.
I don't have any words I can say out loud correctly.
Stupid. Pool in shorts is stupid.
Vanity, thy name is his name. This first day I didn't catch it.
Great.
We know that normally you wouldn't approach a girl, but if you don't,
This was a fun scene. Kind of terrifying too. Thankfully, Anthony was there.
Joe
and some other
Russo
people.
had said at one point something that we tried to stick to, which was when we did an episode at one point where they were meeting in this storage room, and he said that should be their clubhouse. Somehow it's subtly different from being in the study room. It's where they have secret meetings. It's their Little Rascals clubhouse.
Here's Pierce's other whopper.
Because I can't think of anything more frightening than a half Polish, half Arab virgin in his 30s. One way or the other, that story ends with an explosion.
That was the first time we declared that I was half Polish too, by the way.
Yeah.
But you'd already.
Nice time for
It,
it.
it explains why you
I already
seem
spoke
more
in
Indian
Polish.
than Palestinian. Which is,
Yeah, this was terrifying because obviously Alison Brie is on Mad Men, so I was working my impression on her earlier
this
in the
is
week.
amazing.
What are you reading?
Pride and Prejudice.
So you're familiar with 2 sins. How about a third?
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at Donaldson. There it is.
I don't think we're allowed to smoke in here.
And you picked the wrong outfit. Didn't you?
And establishing that Annie's a...
I love this bit right here.
What'd you think?
Weird.
I remember, we had a nice, like our wonderful composer Ludwig did this very nice Mad Men cue there. And I remember, this, when we were in post, somebody had dropped the cue and it sort of like, it was dropped in right before you started the impersonation, and I watched it and I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
It's like Danny takes us there. Not,
cool.
It's like that. And it's just like, I just bring that up because it's like a lot of the choices we make is sort of like rhythm like that.
Yeah.
It's so much more fun to be brought into that moment, obviously, by you than the music.
Before every one of these scenes, I was behind that wall over there with the tape recorder trying to work on my John Hamm impression.
It was awesome. It really was.
Whoa. That's a good Jeff. How'd you do that?
Jeff just wandering in. This episode has a lot of Welcome Back Kotter like feel to it. Like him wandering in and like chastising them.
Jenny.
And your point is?
And his little fit that he throws.
This was tough too. I just wanted to do the hands. I wanted to make sure I got his hands down.
You got a little great moment. Bang.
Damn.
Hey, why aren't you in billiards class?
Because I don't look cool in shorts. Because I'm not cool in shorts.
They love it. They don't care about Jeff at all.
I just love Carrie Whittier, who's wonderful, was always reading Pride and Prejudice in this episode. Everywhere.
Well, what's she supposed to do? Start reading Farewell to Arms?
The Abed guarantee.
See what happens when you hit on girls as Joe McHale versus Jeff Winger?
Look, that's the beauty of this episode is just these very strong comedic concepts. Naked pool, white Abed.
I was watching on Twitter. So many people thought this was Andy Samberg.
Yeah, I had people tell me it was Andy Samberg, and also
That's because it is.
What? Wait a minute. I'm here to tell you guys that was actually me. That was a 2-hour makeup job. 2-hour makeup job. And actually, I had to go get fitted for color contact lenses 3 times. That's where I learned I have abnormally large irises.
Oh.
Yeah, and that makeup had to be tested and tested.
And that makake hurt after a while,
Danny
right?
spent more time in a makeup chair that week than probably what?
Robin Williams in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire. But thankfully, Pam, our makeup artist, was there, my savior that week.
Hipster. I mean, do hipsters walk around wearing...
See, I think she screwed you. Left you in that chair.
Joel McHale at the table read for this episode accidentally said $3,000 jeans. Sort of inadvertently revealing that $3,000 jeans exist in his world, which created the meta laugh on everyone's part of like...
There's only a couple places you can get them, but...
Does a hipster wear $3,000 jeans?
Whoa! Everyone was like, my God.
Get out of bed this morning.
Hi.
Abed. About yesterday.
Oh, yeah. You guys must be pretty upset.
Why would we be upset?
Well, I know how important it was for you that I get a girlfriend. So when Jenny went off with White Abed, it must have really hurt.
It did.
Jenny's boyfriend is a white guy that's almost identical to Abed. Name is Joey, and that's why the sketch was in Troy's book.
I always cracked up during that line. Yeah.
Surely.
No, we just want you to be happy, right?
Yeah, I know. Everybody wants me to be happy. Everybody wants to help me. But usually when they find out they can't, they get frustrated and stop talking to me. Or they trick me into buying them ice cream and then shove me into a clothes dryer. Which I didn't want to happen with you guys, so I want to make sure that you felt like you could help me. The truth is, lots of girls like me because, let's face it, I'm pretty adorable. And my aloofness unconsciously reminds them of their fathers, so...
I'm not saying that anybody on this show as a character is diagnosable with any particular condition, but I am proud of the fact that there's a certain community of people who do have a certain developmental disorder who watch the show and who love Abed for very specific reasons. And the thing they like about him is that he's not R2-D2. He's not to be pitied. He's not adorable. He's in his own way flawed. And but also like the coolest guy in the room in a lot of ways. That it causes him a lot of problems in other ways. And like I'm really, really happy that that particular group of people watches the show that closely and identifies with the character. And I strive to keep it. Abed's a very unique guy. No matter what, he's not going to follow some list of symptoms of anything.
I love how that scene ends too. By the way, with Gillian crying, just crying over us, torturing over the way she says bagel.
That's an amazing shot. Like that's we talked about in other episodes. You talk about writers and directors not seeing things the same way, and like sometimes you have disagreements and things like that. And like half of the time, the director is seeing stuff in a way that the writer can't see it. Like so to reveal Jeff that way. I never would have imagined it that way, to follow the character and then come into frame when Jeff with his little short thighs.
How many episodes has Leonard been at this point?
I don't know.
So great.
It's so great how he just pops up in chairs in the corner.
There's like Leonard in this episode. He goes where the heat is. Like he's a pack animal.
Yeah.
If you
that guy.
A lot of people think that guy's a werewolf. That he's the werewolf
guy from a 1920s magic poster.
They think the show is ingenious enough that's the werewolf from episode 109.
Or it actually goes with Werewolves in London. This song. Joel, were you really good at pool before this episode?
Was I good at pool?
Yeah.
I played a lot of pool as a kid, but if you hit the ball hard enough, it sometimes looks like a trick shot. Clean this side of the table off. You all right? Oh, okay. There you go. See that? There you go.
That's for the ladies. And Jim Rash. Dean Pelton.
Our music supervisors got Werewolves of London for a lower rate than you would normally have to pay, I think. It was a favor because of connections that they had, so we should give them props.
Yeah, thank you.
And Manish and Tom, our music supervisors, are great contributors to the show.
So here we have the creative challenge of how you get two guys to get naked to play pool. It was just beautifully handled. Like, you actually believe it, you follow it.
The turn you guys wrote in it is brilliant. Is that I go like it's really your problem. It's not mine. It's so.
Yeah, the logic is completely backwards here.
So, in reality, if you were Joel McHale, you would have less problem taking your clothes off.
There we go.
There it is.
Please don't let the spray tan melt off.
Making me gay just watching.
This is.
Blake's body.
I love the shot of him. Did they show it already? Him doing this.
Yes, right there.
That was all him.
He's mocking.
Great.
You know what, Jeff? One of us is about
What's great about Community that what makes it my favorite show is that all of this stuff, we're doing naked jokes. It's something that would be at home in like a Will Ferrell or Ben Stiller, kind of like a modern kind of comedy, but none of it has a cynical tone to it. There's no jokes about like, oh, I take off my shirt and then, oh, that's too much information. I don't want to see your gross body and stuff like that. Nakedness is still funny, but it's about humanity.
It's about humanity.
Nice.
It's funny to be naked, but it's not, nobody's getting punished for being naked.
I just like to think that the two men have strength to rip their underwear off like that.
Easily.
Near impossible.
Amazing.
I was weird to have conversations about the breakaway underwear. I was like, do you want the breakaway on now?
So here comes
here's a bit of genius.
Anthony really.
This is Joel. Joel did this while we were rehearsing the shot.
Right but the shot moving up.
Oh my God!
Great shot. I just want people to know
when
I'm
I saw
looking at the
him
balls.
do that during rehearsal, I was like, I couldn't believe it. And I remember when Dan saw that in the editing for the first time when Joel does that, I heard Dan go like this. Television history.
I also like the shot that we of Annie like
peeking
reluctantly
out.
looking through her fingers. That's something that I don't think that women ever get turned on by, which is just a man's
sphincter.
Yeah, the actual hole. Usually, I think it's a buns thing. I think for women.
The O-ring.
How many times did I do that, Anthony?
This is
what's
great.
that? The leg up?
I think this is the 8th person I've kissed on the show.
All right.
Jim Rash.
I love how Britta does not look at me.
She has a fear of men's chests.
How excited Jim Rash is.
This is my Daniel Day-Lewis wrapped in the American flag.
Could you introduce me to your friend?
Wow.
The nice thing is that, you know,
the shot there. That was a nice shot there, dude.
It didn't make it the first time. Let's just say that.
But it was important that in the previous scene that Abed already established, look, I get plenty of play, so that didn't feel contrived the way you would normally mistreat a character like that by going like, oh, well, God says he gets a pity.
How can I be Brown Joey?
Yep, you're just Clay Aiken.
There we go.
Eric Stoltz.
This is one of my favorite tags.
So this should get an Emmy.
Yvette's head will explode if we don't give her credit for saying.
This was Yvette Nicole Brown's idea that we should play Bert and Ernie.
Now, who was that?
And then I'm not really sure, but she's a lady that's on set a lot.
Okay, whatever.
Then Anthony, I was on set. They were shooting this. We kind of walked through it, sort of wrote the script with the two of them on the fly. Came up with a chain of events, but Donald, in the middle of a take, did this thing where he breaks character, does this. So, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching.